Hello, happy Friday, guys. How are you? So it is the Funny Friday or Fun Friday story. Remember I said I was going to change the name to Fun Friday Story. And today I was going to tell you guys the story about, first of all, I hope you guys are having a great Friday so far. And I hope you had a great week, a great productive week. It's been a really busy week. Thank you guys for riding with me and hanging out. I posted a few videos when I was down in Miami at a workshop. Did the live yesterday and today, and it was so much fun. So thank you to the guys who hopped on there. And it's time for the Fun Friday story real quick. I wanted to share when I went to Washington, D.C. when I was 15, 16 years old. And it was so cool. You guys know I always talk about how I'm from a small town, and I really do believe the reason I was able to get away and do things and explore things is because at a young age I started reading, first of all. So it expanded my imagination and, helped me to see that there was so much more out there in the world. I always talk about Lake Wales being so small. At one high school, one Walmart, we didn't even get the Walmart till later. One, we had the mall, like my senior in high school, so it was just one of those small towns. And as a little girl in that town, when I would read and stuff, at like 7 and 8 years old, like I just had this crazy imagination, I wanted to see stuff because of that. I talk about how my parents got me the whole collection of the encyclopedia, and I would sit and look at the atlas and the thesaurus. Like I just loved all of that. So at 16, when I was I think I was sophomore in high school, I remember entering this little contest. I don't know how. One of my teachers or the guidance counselor introduced me to this competition they were doing, and I had to write an essay about why I felt like I wanted to be a part of this project to build a new world. I didn't even know what that meant, but I wanted to be a part of what it looks like if we were to build a new world, what would it look like? So crazy, but I did. I wrote this essay, and I was one of, I think it was only 8 kids that were chosen to go to Washington, D.C. for a whole week. And we built a new world, and I'll explain that in a minute. So it was so cool to be selected, first of all. And then we had to, I think they paid for a large amount of it. I've mentioned that. Remember my freshman year, I went to play in the Super Bowl halftime show, or Sugar Bowl. I said Super Bowl. I wish. Sugar Bowl halftime show when Miami played Alabama Roll Tide. That was amazing. A whole week out of New Orleans at 14. We took charter buses to New Orleans, but when we went to D.C., obviously we flew. So that was my first time being on a plane. Like I said, that small town girl being exposed. We stayed in DC. I had a roommate, I think one roommate, didn't know her. She was like a junior, and I remember we played softball together, so we kind of knew each other, but becoming roommates during that week, we got really close. But it was so much fun, y'all. Like I said, it was 8 of us, plus some of the parents came as chaperones, but Miss Chambers was the guidance counselor who came with us. It was so much fun. That whole week, though, we did all types of activities. There were other schools there representing, different parts of the nation. But it was called Build a New World because we met out on the Lincoln Mall. That's that long stretch of land in front of the monument. But we were all on that, and it was we literally built this huge, I'll have to look it up and see how big it was in diameter and height and all that. It was huge, y'all, really a globe like this. So we had our hard hats on. I got pictures of it from back in the day, but yeah, we had our hard hats on, and as high schoolers we were assigned to help the younger kids. So we were all partnered with different groups of kids, and we literally were building this big massive globe, y'all, that took up the whole center part of that mall, that area. And it was just amazing. There were so many different groups of people represented from all over the world. It was literally build a new world. It was this whole thing, and it was during Earth Day. I remember that because at that age I had never thought about Earth Day and what it meant, and so I learned a lot during that trip as far as celebrating Earth Day and what that meant. But I remember being able to visit Howard University while I was there. So again, small town girl, seeing this college, predominantly black college, going into the neighborhoods and seeing this metro type area. We did, of course, do tours. I was able to go to the Smithsonian Museum, went into the different Senate rooms and visited the White House, just experienced all of that, y'all. And I think that's what started my interest, in politics. and understanding how the law works and how laws are made, you know. So again, I always talk about, you guys with younger kids, just expose them, you know, expose them to as much as you can. Even at, like I said, I'm 45 now, y'all. I'm constantly thinking about the world and what I want to see. I told y'all I keep my channel on YouTube in the living room, like just constantly looking at different parts of the world. I've just always been curious and I love it. So I'm determined. I'm gonna see a lot more. But yeah, at 16, I went to DC for a week without my parents. Again, I always talk about that. I always felt so free and independent, you know, when I would do things like that. So yeah, another fun story. But I hope you guys have a great Friday. And if I find some of those pictures, I'll make sure to post them. It was so cool. Like I said, it was just an amazing experience. Opened my eyes, like I said, to a number of different things. Like I said, in politics and everything, but also meeting people and learning at that young age how much I loved different cultures and just exploring, you know, just exploring all the time. So I'm right at 6 minutes, y'all. I got to go. I hope y'all have a great Friday. I'll see y'all next week. Take care.